friends, I welcome you all in the lecture series of Basics of Python. This is lecture number 17. So today we will see what is loop in Python. See what is loop in Python. So in many time what happen whenever we write a code, some task we need to perform repeatedly. For example, if we want to print the square of number from 1 to 10, so this process we have to repeat for the 10 times. So in that case we can use the loops in Python. So basically there are two loops available in Python. First one is for loop and second one is while loop. Okay, now let's see what is for loop. So for loop is used whenever we want to perform some task repeatedly over the sequence. For example, I have a list. For each element of list, if I want to perform some task, in that case I can use for loop. Similarly, I can use string or range function. So it repeatedly perform a single task for each element from the list, string or range. So the syntax of the for loop is something like this. For you, we have to use this keyword for, then items in sequence. For each item in the sequence, it will perform some task. Okay, go to the Google Colab and let's see how we can use for loop. Okay, so to create a for loop, let me first create one list. Let me call it as list. Okay, uh, list 1 is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Okay, so I have created one list. Now I'm going to use a for loop. So for that I have to write keyword for item I in list. Okay, item I in list. So I will print each item. Okay, I will print each item. So let me run this one. So here you can see it is printing each element, each item from the list. Similarly, you can perform the square of number also. So for that I have to use I multiply by I. Okay, so here you can see the square of each element from the list is printed over here: 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. So this is how you can create a for loop. This is while loop. So while loop repeat a block of code as long as the condition is true. Once the condition is satisfied, as long as the condition is satisfied, it repeatedly perform that particular task, and once it is false, it will stop and get out of the loop. So let's see what is the syntax of the while loop. So we have to use write keyword while, and after that we have to write condition. So it will perform this task which is written under this while condition unless and until this condition is true. Once it is false, it will get out of this loop. Okay, now let's go to the Google Colab and let's see how we can use while loop. Okay, so to you to show the use of while loop, let me initially create one variable count is equal to 0. So I'm creating one variable count and assigning value 0 to the count. So let me write while count is less than 5. Okay, so this process is repeatedly doing until count is less than 5. If this condition is false, then it will get out of this while loop. So I will print count. Okay, I will print count. After that I have to increment the count, or that I have to increment the count also. Count plus is equal to 1. Okay, now let me run this one. So here you can see it is printing. Here you can see it is printing all the values which are less than 5. Now if I want to print the square of number from 0 to 4, so for that I can write in this way. So count multiply by count. Okay, so here you can see it is printing the square of number 0 to 4, 0, 1, 4, 9 and 16. So this is how you can create a while loop. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now let's see what is break and continue in loops. Okay, so break exists when the loop has to be finished its iteration. What do I mean? If you want to break the iteration of your loop at particular number or at particular stage, in that case you can use break statement. And continue statement, if you want to skip any particular iteration. Okay, in that case you can use continue. So let's go to the Google Colab and let's see how we can use break and continue. Okay, now let me write for loop. Okay, for I in list list 1. Okay, for I in list 1, if if I if I is equal to 3, okay, it will break. Okay, it will break. Okay, or else it should print I. Okay, so let's understand this code. Here I'm create a for loop for I in the list. So all the items from the list 1, I have to perform some task. But if I is equal to 3, I have to get out of this code. What does it mean? If my list contain number 3, I should get out of this code. So let me run this one. So here you can see the 3 is available in my code and it is printing only 1 and 2. Now let's write 5 over here. So it will print up to 4, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Why? Once if I is equal to 5, it will break the iteration and get out of the loop. Okay, so this is how you can use break in for loop. Okay, now let's see how we can use continue in the loop. Okay, so let me copy this one, copy, let me paste over here. Let me copy this one. Okay, let me paste over here. Okay, now instead of break I'm writing continue. Okay, so if I is equal to 2, it will continue. So let's understand this code. So for I, for each item in list 1, it will perform printing task. But if I is equal to 2, it will skip this task and continue from 3. Okay, so it will print 1, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so let me run this one. So here you can see 1, 3, 4 and 5. So by using continue keyword, you can skip any particular task. Okay, so this is how you can use continue and break in loop. Okay, now let's see one example. This is real world example. Print the even number between 1 and 0 using both loops. Okay, so let me write code for printing even number from 1 to 10. Okay, so initially I will write using for loop. Okay, so for I in range 1 comma 11. Okay, for I in range. So range function will give us value from 1 to 10. Okay, and for each value of I, it will print, we will check whether it is even number or not. If it is even number, we will print it. So to check whether the number is even or not, for that I have to use if. So if I modulus 2 is equal to 0. So if I modulus of 2 is equal to 0, in that case it is even number. If it is not 0, in that case it is odd number. So let me print I. Okay, so let me run this one. Here you can see all the even numbers are printed over here: 2, 4, 6, 10 and 8 and 10. So this is how you can use for loop in a real scenario. Now let's do the similar task using while loop. Okay, let's do the similar task using while loop. So for that I have to create one variable. Let me create one variable, number is equal to 1. So I have to find from 1 to 10, right? So that's why I have created variable number is equal to 1. So let me write while number is less than or equal to 10. Okay, while number is less than or equal to 10, so for each number from 1 to 10, it will perform the task which is written under this code. Okay, so while, so after that I have to check whether the number is even or not. For that I can use if number percentage sign 2 is equal to 0. If this is true, it will print the number. Okay, it will print the number. So let me run this one. So here you can see it is printing all the even number from 1 to 10. Okay, 2, 4, 6 and 10. Okay,